Good morning and welcome to Flannel Hill Farm. So, we got almost everything cut for the ChickShaw, which has been quite a task. I do believe that the PVC roofing panels that make up some of the sides and the roof need some special blade, Big K said. So I don't think we can cut any more of those until we get that blade. However, it's coming along. So, I also wanted to show you, we went to a Mennonite store and tried to get some feed because they were supposed to have better feed. But they don't have feed. They have what they call scratch. So this right here is a crumble. This is the kind of feed that you want. Let me see. Should be down below here somewhere. This big stuff, corn and stuff, is scratch. Scratch has this scratch has 8% protein in it, which is nothing. And it says right on the label that it's supposed to be fed as a supplement or a treat with a regular well-rounded feed. So that was just not a great buy. However, I should have known that and I didn't, so here we are. Another update. On my way home last night, I saw a fox that ran from across the street into our yard. So, checking on the chickens, I think this chicken tractor is very secure and might be even a little bit more secure with the little additives that we did. So the one thing, I think I'm gonna make a whole video on this, so you don't have to really pay attention right now, but that fox came from down here and ran into our yard. But our chickens are good. So, I was going to say, our little additives and how we did this, I think make it more secure. And I'm gonna tell you what we did and what we changed, but I'm not 100% sure that it was a change, because John Siskovich's book, very good. It has all the instructions. However, the pictures don't help you because all of the pictures are different. And I'll do a video on it. I want to do a video on the instructions from John Siskovich for this and the instructions from Justin Road for the ChickShaw. But one picture will show it one way and another picture shows it the other way, and so it's very confusing. But let me move these guys so they kind of be quiet. And then I will tell you what we did different, or what we think we did different. So again, what I do is in this 5-gallon bucket, I have feed, crumble. If you want feed, get crumble, not scratch. Don't be like me. And I put a line of this in front of the tractor so that when I'm moving them, I know where to stop. As an added bonus, it keeps them busy too, so they keep moving forward to try to get that, and then they stay there so that I don't run anybody over, and they all keep up. Somebody found his voice. So it's that easy. And then right away I will go in and put the feed in, and then I'll have to go back and get water. I was getting water at our hose, but the hose has gotten pretty hot because it's been in the 80s and 90s. So the water coming through the hose is pretty warm. So I'm going all the way back up and then either carrying the bucket or putting the bucket into the tractor and bringing the whole tractor down. No, stay in. Okay. Come on. No. 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 So, this is the second day in a row that they have tried to escaped. Yesterday it was 3, and all I did was prop the door open, and I chased them around the opposite direction so that they'd hit the door and the door would funnel them back in. This time it was just one, so I just caught him. They are big enough now that I have noticed some leg issues where like they'll be standing or walking and then just their legs will just give way because they're so heavy. But that's a normal problem for them to have. Their legs don't grow or have enough strength to hold the weight that they're putting on. So, but they're mostly good. And I've seen that problem, and then later on that day, they'll be fine. So, I don't know. But we still have all of our chickens, even with some predators that I've seen, some scat that I've seen. So I think this chicken tractor is either just John Siskovich did well enough with it, or we, mostly Big K, made good tweaks to the original plans. Now this is what is starting to really annoy me. So, I'll put you way over here, see if we can not get you wet. I'm gonna show you what this is doing. Hi.
You say hi. Say thanks for the beans.
You bet. I don't know. So we used to have this really low water pressure, and it was kind of driving me nuts because it would take forever to fill one of these 5-gallon buckets. But now, I don't know if our water company went the complete opposite direction or what happened, but we now have immense water pressure. And it's kind of annoying because the laying hens, I use a 1-gallon jug to fill up their waterers, and you can't even fill it. The water pressure just pushes it out, and it gets about a quarter or half full, and then it just sprays out the top. So I don't know. But I guess I should have been thankful for what I had and not complained about it. But I didn't complain to the water people. So I don't know what happened. Maybe there's a slow, steady leak somewhere. And so we got not so good water pressure. And they fixed it. I don't know. It's a long walk. So now it's rocky enough out here that they've been using these rocks, and I haven't been giving them grit. Plus the crumble, they don't appear to want the grit with the crumble. So, I don't know. I guess I'll look when we butcher. We're butchering July 4th. When we butcher, I'll look at their gizzards and see kind of if they have stones in them or not. I don't know. I gave them chick grit, but I don't know if they really used it when they were chicks. And so when I put them out here, I gave them some, and they didn't really seem to use it. And now we're on a part of the property that's got a lot of rocks. So I'm gonna see if they're using those rocks. All right, guys. Water. No, please stay. No. So, that's our chicken chores. Now, what we did was different, is we went on the outside of the actual structure itself. So originally it looked like in the plans that the wire mesh was supposed to go on the inside. We put it on the outside so that if something did push on this, it was pushing on the 2x4s as well. The second thing was we didn't cut this part off to go over the 2x4s. We cut it and then laid it on top. Excuse me, buddy. We laid it on top, so there is no actual hole here. What else did we do? We made this one continuous piece so that it's not cut and broken up. We probably overstapled, and we also overlapped the wires by more. We brought the wire all the way down so any of these sharp edges would keep something from getting up under. Same thing with the door. We cut it and then stapled it, and then on the inside, I'll show you. These barrel locks are really hard, which is probably why a raccoon hasn't come in here yet. But we stapled it to the back too, so there is no just hole or open spot for anything to get through. I think we probably used double the zip ties, which is no big deal. I would rather use double the zip ties. So I ordered 25 chickens. We lost one to some funny thing. But that was still like in the brooder. And that's it. So these guys have been out with known predators. Coyotes, fox. We have groundhogs, but I think groundhogs are herbivores. Skunks, raccoons, possums, snakes, you name it, we got it. Missouri even has black bears, which I don't think a black bear would go after a chicken, but you get my point. We do have wolves. We got, stray dogs, wandering dogs, and no problems. So, but like I said, that book was great for the plans. The book was great for the cut list. But the pictures were something to be desired. They just didn't match up. So, that is what I know. It looks like Big K did some more work after I left yesterday. Looks like he ripped down the plywood and such. So, I just want you to know, I told you that the Siskovich tractor was what we were doing and everything, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that we did kind of monkey with it, and so some of our success might be our tweaks. So, the continuous wire mesh, I think, is a good thing. Otherwise, you're only relying on those little staples. So I think that's a big positive. Putting it all the way around the outside, you got to make sure you pull it tight. But that little bit of give from the inside supports being inside, and then you have the outside supports, I think at those corners doesn't really make a difference. Because it's a corner, it's got that better crush resistance. Using too many zip ties probably really helps. It just keeps everything, especially that poultry netting, tight. I thought that leaving the sides down wasn't gonna be a big deal, but it got really hot, so I just used some small bungee cords and bungeed the ends up of the tarp so that there's more of a breeze going through there. And then I was putting them down at night to keep it a little warmer in there, but now they don't seem to care. So the holding the food and water up by knot seems to work, except for the feeder. They seem to push down on the feeder so much that that knot gives way a little bit. So, hi. What are you doing? Hello. What are you doing? So, that is what I know. I'm gonna be working on this ChickShaw again. I don't know how much more we can do or how much more he's willing to do without that cutter. So I was gonna show you. These are not metal roofing panels. They're PVC roofing panels. So this is a plastic, and the way that we tried to cut it yesterday did not work. It chipped. So a circular saw with, I think he said it was a finish blade, is not the way to go. Just so you know, that's not the way to do it. But we tried it. The thing that I don't like, and I'll go back through this when I do the video just on the instructions, but the thing that I don't like about this is the ChickShaw and the instructions is it's kind of out of order, and it's not. I guess we haven't gotten into building. We've only gotten into the cutting part, but like it says cut this, and then it says use this scrap to get these cuts. There's a cut in there that it says use scrap to get this cut, and you don't have that yet. So if you are like going verbatim, following what he's saying, you get to a point where you're like, did I do something wrong? What happened? How did I miss whatever it was that you missed? But that's untrue. You go to the next step, you cut that one, and then you have that scrap you needed for the one prior. But if you don't do carpentry every day or have done it in the past, that can be something that you're like, I messed up, how did I? And it's just out of order a little bit. Also, he wants you to buy too much. So I think we could have gotten away with 21 boards instead of 22, which isn't a big deal, especially when you're building a homestead farmette thing. But if you're on a budget and you bought this because, you know, you were only going to need exactly what you needed, I do believe that we were a board over. I can show you. I think it's still in here. I don't know if it's as pretty as I had it, but this long piece here, this little long piece, is extra, and so are some of these. Like actually all of this on this side should be extra. So that is like a 2x4. or a little bit more, but you can't a little bit more an extra board. So probably 1 2x4 extra, which, like I said, being as though we're doing this isn't that big a deal. However, if you were, tight on space, trying to get just what you needed, use what you bought, would be a disappointment. So we got some big bees coming around here, which I'm okay with. It's just kind of weird. Come on, there we go. So, you guys want to take bets how long it'll take Bentley to get over here? It's like he knows. It's like he's got a bean radar that he knows there's movement in the plants or something. We have given some green beans away to one of the neighbors. He gave us some cucumbers, which I think was kind of an odd trade because I think he bought his cucumbers and I grew my beans, but it is what it is. Hopefully I can give away / sell some of my stuff and make people realize that the fresh is where it's at. Hello, KK. Lots of beans. Thinking about planting some more here pretty quick so that we get another round of harvest. Okay, you want a bean? Benny, are you feeling okay, Monk? You're not over here eating all my beans. You're worrying me. He's very shade conscious too, so he could just be hot, chilling in the shade for a little bit. It's so weird. KK's the hotter dog. She's the black dog. She'll look and be dying, just panting like a big dog, and go over, see Bentley chilling, go over by him, and then she sees that he's not struggling, go sit in the shade, and then she's like, oh look at this. I feel like as a lab border collie, you should know about shade more than the beagle, but what do I know? Lots of beans. Oh my word. Should have maybe put my apron on today. I haven't been getting this many yet, so I haven't really, I haven't taken the time to pull the apron out. But my word. This is a lot. It's a lot of beans so far. So satisfying. Growing something and then picking it. Oh, hello. You would like beans. No? Well, I'm gonna continue doing this. Oh, look at those dragon tongues. Those are looking good. On your way back down the hill, if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that little bell notification button thing down there. And we will be processing on the 4th. I don't know how much of that we're gonna show, only because I don't need to gross anybody out. It is a necessary thing. I'm coming to terms with that as well. But I don't know how much of that I'm gonna show. So I really do appreciate y'all.